Janae? Janae? Janae?
Sometimes life isn't this obvious. As a parent or caregiver, there can be so many things to be focused on as your child grows that sometimes you can overlook the early signs of autism. So there are three main components that we look at when we're looking at children with autism, and the symptoms are deficits in communication, social, and behavioral issues. The communication issues, sometimes kids will talk, sometimes they won't, but there's some sort of a deficit there. For social, you might see kids that don't make eye contact or don't engage socially, and sometimes with behavioral issues, you may have behavior problems, or you might just have repetitive type behaviors like lining things up or some odd movements or things that just seem strange.
It's very important for a child that will have autism to identify that autism as early as possible.
Early intervention is really the key to having really good outcomes. So when you wait and you don't get evaluated, one of two things will happen. One, you'll either delay the diagnosis of autism, or two, you might end up finding out that maybe there was some other kind of an issue, because if you have concerns, it may not be autism, but it could be something else, and you could end up finding some resources that are going to help you either way. If you look online, you can look up MCHAT, M-C-H-A-T, and that's something that's often done in a pediatrician's office, but it is something that is available online, and there's a handful of questions that parents can look at and see yes or no, does my child have this or do they not? And it would be really good talking points to talk to your pediatrician about if you did have some concerns after doing that. Raising a child with autism is different than raising a typical child. So maybe the tools that you use for your other children or the tools that your parents use for you, they may not be the right tools for you to use with this child, and you might need some extra support, and you might need to learn from the professionals that you're working with, and just be open to that.
The spectrum is broad, and normal development is broad, and diagnosing autism the younger you go gets much more challenging. So I would say, if you have a concern, bring it up with your pediatrician.
Kids with autism, I mean, they're just kids at the end of the day, and every kid is going to be a little bit different, and they're going to have their own unique aspects that are going to be challenging, but also very rewarding. And as a parent, you just have to look at your child and see how do they fit into your family, how do they fit into your community, and of course you're going to be working on making them better and whatever the issues are, but we all do that with our kids, and we're all trying to give them the best shot that they can. So just normalize it as much as possible and really think about how does this unique child fit into your life and your family, and how do you care for them. If your child isn't responding like they should, don't just blame yourself, ask. There are resources available that can help you identify autism early on, and the earlier you get help, the better both of your lives will be. As our children grow, we have to be their safety gate, so use caution and give them the time to play, dream, and just be a kid.
For more information, visit DetroitPBSKids.org. Brought to you by the Children's Hospital of Michigan Foundation.